Then we have Nate the Nerdarch of Nerdarchy, for Nerds by Nerds. He's been a creator and partner over on Nerdarchy for 4 years now and mostly works on adventures and homebrew products, the storefront of nerdarchy.com, Patreon rewards, and travels to conventions. He is playing Five Hand Stan, the Mantid Arcane Trickster. And Kienata, he is a streamer and contributor on Nerdarchy. You can find him at twitch.tv/Kienata. He is playing Fitzroy, Brumblebottom, the Human Ranger. And our esteemed DM, Doug Vahovic, Nerditor-in-Chief at nerdarchy.com. Doug will be our guide and game master tonight in the world of Endless Horizons Spelljammer.
Hey, Nerditor Doug here from Nerdarchy, for Nerds by Nerds, and like Megan said, we're playing 5th edition Spelljammer today. And before we get started, I'll just run over the house rules for the players and any new players also. Start with each session with inspiration, so you all have inspiration die to use. You can use that inspiration to give me disadvantage on a roll if you like. And we are also using the From Hit Dice to Heroics alternate hit dice rules that Nerdarchy just launched in the store. You can find a link to that down in the description. Those are just different ways to use hit dice in and out of combat aside from healing during a short rest. And, oh, sorry, there's a little chat message just making sure everything's good. So, after diverting Illrigger to a tributary in the Phlogiston, revealed on a map through a special set of lenses, you arrived at the Undersea of Fallen Stars. Twinkling telepathic jellyfish lay weakened upon a beach of black sand, pleading for help. Their goddess Umami has grown distant, putting both them and the Aldani, a tribe of cursed mariners who troll the undershore, in danger. On the ebony coast of the Undersea, the skittish Aldani offered a large pile of trinkets and coins scavenged from the undershore for aid, sweetening the deal with an offer to share the secret of gustation in exchange for investigating the circumstances surrounding Umami. And so you've all entered the Undersea. While the Illrigger idles above, you've begun to descend the gravity-free cylindrical pit within this dark region of the Phlogiston. A soft aquamarine glow illuminates the pit, in which Flotsam and Jetsam swirl aimlessly. You cannot see the bottom, but both the Aldani and Flumph on the undershore say Umami resides below. Several of the Flumph entered the Undersea but did not return, and if I recall, Nub Nub is in the form of an octopus, currently coiled around Fitzroy?
Fitzroy, yeah. You have the tentacle is around his leg, is like, and I'm like, yay! And I'm like,
yes.
I would also like to expend a hit die to do aspect to the beast, so that way, just my head instead of an octopus head, it's Nub Nub's head. But then
absolutely. So it's just it's Nub Nub's head with a bunch of tentacles coming off it.
Weird.
I believe Augustus was bouncing from Flotsam to Jetsam.
I had cannonballed into this thing, yeah.
Yes. Nice. And Sirkas just simply stepped inside along with Five Hand Stan. So what would you like to do? You're kind of floating in a deep cylindrical pit of zero gravity.
I'm just charging in, going to the front, and then I'm just the tentacle around Fitzroy's leg.
Okay.
Boop. Dragging him in.
Sounds good.
Is this like true zero gravity? Like we have no ability to adjust our momentum, or are we kind of able to swim?
You can swim, you can push off of objects with an acrobatics or athletics roll to aim yourself basically down or whichever direction you'd like to go.
So I go charging off, down, and then I go, where are we going?
Well, basically there only is one, so I'd imagine you're kind of like tentacling your way from object to object sort of with Fitzroy in tow. Okay. Yeah. You can make an acrobatics or athletics check with advantage because of your sticky tentacles.
Sticky tentacles. Gross, dude.
All right, so that is going to be a 16 on my acrobatics.
Okay, yeah, so you're easily able to uncoil your tentacles and grasp onto the things and make your way down. How are the rest of you moving downwards?
I'm letting Nub Nub do all the work. He's got it covered.
You're just going along for the ride.
I am just beside myself in this like gravityless void and just floating my way down. I am enjoying every inch of this.
Do you want to try to web down, or are you trying to like swim downwards through the stuff, or push off?
Oh, I'm swimming downwards through the stuff.
Okay, make an athletics check, and you can make it with advantage if you'd like to use your webbing to aid. descent.
$12.
That beats the DC. It's only 10. So yeah, you're able to kind of like web yourself down and swim through the gravityless area chamber. How about a 5-handstand and Augustus?
I guess I'm just gonna be trying to kick off of one thing to the next thing.
Sure.
I don't have any tricks that are gonna help me do this any better.
Well, you can make an athletics or acrobatics choice. Your choice.
All right, it will be an acrobatics.
And the DC is 10.
I am keeping a watch on everyone else, and it's like I look back if everyone's
if they're floating away.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also want to keep my eyes out for any. I got 19. I want to keep my eyes out of anything in the flotsam and jetsam that might look of interest.
Okay, make a perception check.
Mm.
6.
There just appears to be broken pieces of seafaring vessels, just timbers. There's occasional, what do you call it, ship's wheel kind of floats by and things like that, but nothing really nothing really interesting.
I'm just going to simply mage hand stuff to me that looks kind of heavy and shove it behind me, to kind of just like a piece of wood. I'm just going to try and use it to kind of row through.
Okay, make an intelligence check with advantage.
Not a lot of experience moving through the crazy etheriness of this.
16.
Yeah, so you're able to use your mage hand that works, and you're kind of like pushing things in your wake as you travel down. And it's a while of doing this where all you can see towards the bottom is sort of like the soft aquamarine glow. The cylinder's probably about, 25 feet in diameter, and you're just descending down. There appears to be air. It's not water that you're swimming in. It's just gravity-free air. And as you near closer to the glow, you see that the pit seems to open up into a larger, vast chamber. And you're not moving very fast, but it's sort of like, those cutaway scenes in a movie where somebody falls down a deep pit, and then you see from far away like there's a vast chamber, and that's sort of what looks like you're heading towards. And do you just continue to ascend?
I'd like to look around and see if there's a good landing area, like somewhere. Okay, what's a safe place to like latch onto that's below us?
Okay, do you want to kind of like slow your descent and like stick to the side of the cylinder?
Yeah. Just kind of be like.
Okay, sure. And everybody else is continuing to float. And you can make a perception check with disadvantage because it's kind of hazy and diffused in this chamber.
And I'm just going to look around for neat things to stick in my pockets.
All right, I rolled 2 2s.
Killing it.
No. Anyway, that darker area seems more dark than the other dark areas. So.
Well, I mean, you can see that it's not hard to see that it does open up into what it looks like a very vast chamber. And far below, you can see like little dark spots on what looks like the bottom, but you can't really distinctly tell anything about them. And Stan, you said you wanted to actually slow down and
just
take a peek as well.
Look around for interesting things to snag and put in my pockets.
All right, you can also make a perception check.
I know I'm kind of like I'm kind of in tow and not really, probably don't have as good a handle on my surroundings as I should, but can I kind of peek around? I'm probably trying to keep an eye on the direction we're heading. And
yeah.
Okay.
15.
All right, Stan, you notice far below where those little dark shapes are moving around that actually looks like there's something spread over the surface of the bottom of this chamber. It's kind of like a slightly off-color, viscous-looking substance.
Ooh.
And yeah.
I'm just gonna associate it with kind of the stuff that binds things together in the hive.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna broadcast to everybody. Oh, do not touch the floor. I think it is too sticky to get out of.
All right. And Fitzroy, you can also make a perception check.
I have no idea if that's true.
I rolled a 9. That probably ain't gonna do it.
No, you don't really see anything, but like as you're just kind of floating there in Nub Nub's tentacle, you're kind of like, there's like you detect like an unusual taste in your mouth. It's kind of like, it's slightly savory, but there's kind of like a bitterness to it that you can't really place exactly.
I could use this. My word. Get a vial out.
The air.
Yeah, you just capture, just moving it through there.
You just put it through the air, and so you open it up and like, and then it's like, ooh, there's something there. Just a hint of it, I can tell.
You can put it on a rag and just huff it.
Okay.
Oh, what about you, Sir Cass? Are you just gonna continue floating down, or do you want to kind of stick to the wall or take a look or anything?
I'll crawl along the wall. I find that's easier.
I really like the image of Sir Cass just scuttling along surfaces. All right, you can also make a perception check if you like.
Oh, good luck. 13.
Yep, you just see sort of those same little dark shapes far below, and heard what Stan had to say as well. So you're kind of like at the lip of where you can see like the edges of it go out and open up into this larger chamber with like where the bottom of it's kind of just glowing this aquamarine glow.
I know we're going in the right direction, or at least I think I know we're going in the right direction.
There was only one direction.
Yeah. So
I'm just gonna keep heading towards the glow. I mean,
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I'm following him.
I'm entranced by the glow.
All right. Well then, you can make. Actually, everybody should roll initiative.
oh god.
Don't worry.
Ugh. I rolled a 6. Not great. Plus, yeah.
Okay.
10.
All
Also
right.
10.
All right.
27.
That's-
Attack
27.
the darkness.
Attack the dread gazebo. What about Sir Cass? Should probably put it in chat. I didn't see.
Sorry, I was answering something in the chat. What
Oh.
am I rolling?
That's cool.
Roll initiative.
Initiative.
Yes.
Oh, good. 16. I actually have a bonus to that.
Okay. Then Stan, you pass beyond the lip of the thing, and as soon as you pass under the lip, the weightless feeling that you felt in the cylinder above is replaced by sort of a tug downwards, but you are able to. It's not really affecting you right now. You're still kind of floating. It's just a little heavier of a
I just
feeling.
feel like I'm getting kind of pulled towards a direction.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And as you get a little closer, you see those dark shapes are actually look like little. They look like little blobs of goo that have glowing little orbs, like two of them kind of like swirling around each other inside. And on the bottom of the goo is like a fleshy membrane with like 3 thick claws sticking out of it, and they're kind of like scuttling along the surface of the bottom, and where their claws are touching, kind of like making ripples in it and stuff. And beyond this glow, you kind of see like it looks like undersea plants kind of way. It looks like you're at the bottom of the ocean laying down looking up, so you see like plants and there's like fish going, and there's like a diffused light far beyond that.
If there are any shiny rocks, I'm going to put them in my pockets. But
Dude, gross
make-
scuttling things, and you're looking at rocks.
Make a perception check.
13.
There's some bits of trinkets and things kind of like sticking up out of the goo, as well as like other pieces of broken ships and things just kind of like poking out of the goo at the bottom. And the chamber walls are kind of smooth, and it looks like a vast kind of ovoid chamber.
All right, I'm keeping my eyes on the weird little things.
Okay,
As
they
well.
appear to just be like scuttling around. There's probably like, I don't know, 15 to 20 of them just kind of like sliding around on this goo at the
They
bottom.
look like they're like animal intelligence level.
They just look like little blobs that are kind of like parasitic sort of thing.
Doug, my familiar is in a sort of sea slug kind of shape,
Okay,
which allows it to have a swim speed. I don't know if that's going to help in this situation.
it absolutely will.
So I'm going to have it sort of swimming around, checking things out that I can't get to as quick.
Okay. I will keep that in mind. And now it is the bad guy's turn.
Oh no.
What? Doesn't sound like there's any bad guys here. These guys seem awesome.
Yeah, that's true. So, Nate, Stan, you are the only one that has passed beyond, so I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Oh, that's not my strong suit.
I believe in you. Be awesome.
A 7.
Okay, so you see the goo at the bottom kind of like undulate and like ripple violently, and as it does, you're like sucked down 15 feet closer to it, and all the kind of flotsam and jetsam in the room also is just like pulled down a little further, and the little orbs on the glabby things are kind of like pulsating in tune with that. And that's turn. So now it is Sir Cass's turn.
Okay, so you have these globby things, and then the globby orbs, and he's getting pulled towards it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm gonna witch bolt it.
The little blabs or the big
The big thing in the middle. I don't like what it's
the
doing.
gelatinous sheen on the ground.
It's a god. Don't anger it.
You can do whatever you like. Which bolt is it? That's a lightning damage, right?
Yes.
Is that the one that just keeps going as long as you hold it down?
Yes.
Okay.
It's 18 to
Alright.
hit.
That hits. And
no.
as it strikes it, yeah, I mean, the thing kind of like shudders again and kind of like contracts a little bit as if in pain. And lightning kind of like crackles across its surface and everything. And what kind of damage does that do?
11.
Right.
I don't have a lot of experience interacting with gods, but I'm gonna guess if you lightning bolt them, things go south.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. So yeah, you did not feel the intense pull that Stan did, so you're kind of just still towards the top. And Nub,
That actually makes a big difference.
Oh, okay.
Because if I don't think it's trying to suck us into its mouth, I wouldn't have done that.
It's trying to
Well,
suck me into
it
its
did
mouth.
suck Stan down.
Yeah, I mean, you saw Stan kind of go into the chamber and then like violently pulled down towards it. It just didn't appear to do that again when you entered there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah,
Also,
alright.
there's a
Then I
chamber
do
it's
not
pulling.
withdraw my attack.
So there's an opening it's pulling him towards.
It's just pulling him down towards this gelatinous sheen on the ground, along with all the stuff that was floating in there. And it is your turn, Nub.
And also there's the orbs as well, or
Yeah, those little blabby things, they just appear to be like sliding over the surface of this thing. It covers like the whole ground. It's like 60 feet.
all right. Fitzroy,
Huge. It's gargantuan.
on your turn,
No.
throw me.
What?
I need you to throw me at it on your turn. I have a plan.
No, I believe in you, but this is ill advised. Are you?
Don't worry, I have a plan.
Oh God. Are you turning into something before I hurl you like a baseball, or are you just gonna? Am I gonna grab a squid leg and?
I'm
wing-
gonna figure out what I'm gonna turn into as you're throwing me.
So
Okay.
do you want to hold your action for
Yeah.
Fitzroy's turn?
Yeah.
And then, okay, you do that. All right, and it is Augustus's turn and Moisty, the quasi slime slug.
So, when it sucked everything down, do the orbs look distressed or what? Did they look like they had?
They look titillated if you.
Titillated. All right.
Yes, that's what your oozy senses are telling you. They're like, ooh.
I mean, I'm inclined to go into the opening, honestly.
Okay.
Personally, I mean, it's like a room of goo with a gooey opening. This is like home sweet home in my mind for you. Like, this,
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna
It's tempting, isn't it?
yell out to Stan. No fair. You don't get to go first.
So you're gonna eagerly swim towards this.
I'm gonna swim past. Yeah, I'm gonna try to swim past Stan.
Oh, you can
If I
definitely.
can like push him. I can push him out of the way as I'm doing it. I want to do that.
Sure, make a strength or athletics check.
7.
So you're kind of just like moving your bulk through the stuff, and you do push off him. It doesn't really. He just kind of like moves a few inches to the side. But I mean, do you want to like dash toward this thing essentially?
You sure?
Okay. I mean, you see Augustus just like eagerly go down, and he's swimming through this zero gravity thing towards the gooey bottom. Did you want Moisty to look around like you said earlier?
Yeah, I mean he's following me to a
Okay.
degree, but he's keeping a little bit of distance.
Have Moisty make a perception check.
Sure.
I'm just gonna say Moisty as many times as possible.
I know it's really
For all you fans out there who love that
Part-
word.
part of me
Moisty doesn't have any
upset.
eyes, so he's got a rough case of it. He only gets a 4.
Okay, yeah, so he's just looking around and feeling the kinship of the slime, which does kind of coat the walls too. It's just kind of like oozy inside on the side. Can you see through Moisty's eyes?
Not that I know. of.
Oh, yeah, that's like a thing you have to specifically
It's a
do.
spell, I believe.
Yeah, it's like he makes you blind while you're doing it. Okay, so you're making your way towards the bottom. Fitzroy, it is your turn.
No, I don't know what you're thinking, but here we go.
Are you like whipping him around by the
Yeah, you
octopus
grab me
leg?
by the tentacle.
And I feel like that's the best. I can't think of a better way to grab it.
Sure.
My brain goes straight to like Looney Tunes or something. So
Make an athletics check, Fitzroy. For
All right,
Okay.
where are
game.
you throwing me?
I- in the hole,
I believe
16.
that's what you meant. Yeah, so you get a good spin on Nub Nub's tentacle and just let her rip straight down. Apparently, is what Nub Nub wants. So you are whizzing past Stan, fast approaching Augustus. What would you like to do?
So as I'm flying through the air, I have one tentacle on my chin. Like, what was I gonna do after this?
Okay.
But anyway, I am going to. I'm trying to think of the most ridiculous thing that I could transform. I wanted it to be a whale, but I can't transform into a whale yet.
Clearly, you want to be a dolphin.
Oh, you can't have things with swim, huh?
Can
I'll do reef shark. I'll do a shark. I can do either octopus or reef shark. So you know what? I think I'll go for a giant octopus.
Okay. Was there something you want to do real quick, Fitzroy?
I just want to like carefully follow behind. Everybody's going ham and diving in. I'm taking the slow, careful route. I'm letting everybody get a little bit of a lead on me. I can't stop what is happening from happening, but I can be the only person that's not being digested. So I'm going with that.
Gotcha. Okay, so we'll say your action was to throw Nub Nub, and your move is moving into the room. I would like you to make a perception
Kienata's
check.
like, I want to look like I'm with the party,
Yeah.
but when everybody dies, I'm not.
Well, Seer Cass is still out, right? You're still
No,
out.
no,
Yeah.
she went in there and witch bolted it. But she's actually floating up there, maintaining a beam of electricity down at the thing. Fitzroy, give me a quick perception check.
God help me. I rolled a 3.
Okay, yeah, you're just
perception check.
engrossed by the antics of your companions.
Kind of stuck on that taste right now.
Mhm. It's much stronger once you've passed beyond.
Technological problems are now ensuing.
Okay, it's reconnecting.
Okay.
So just take it back from the whatever craziness Nub Nub was going to be doing.
Okay, so I transform into a giant octopus, and then I just body slam it with the tentacles.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So
It's just a
you're
tentacle attack.
all right.
That is a 13 to try and hit it.
That hits. Slime is very easy to hit.
All right. Doop doop. Doop doop is 8. That's 11 damage, and you have. Technically, I don't know if I'm even hitting it. It has to do a. It's grappled. I don't know if it's grappled or not, or I have at least grabbed onto it.
You are stuck to it. Your tentacles are on it. But who has who? Can you grapple? Can you engulf a grapple?
I have
Actually, so actually, yeah, as your tentacles slam into it too, and they kind of like sink into it, and it stings a little bit, and your tentacles kind of like sink into the surface of it. It doesn't break the kind of meniscus of the thing. But
All right.
It's like Molecule Man, Ben. Does the water get wet, or does the water get him?
yes, but you're not sure who is grasping who. And then we are back up to the top with 5 handstand.
Oh, that's not very helpful and handy.
So I
Oh,
believe, let's see if I can remember. Nub-Nub's on the thing. You guess this is in front of you, and Sir Cass and Fitzroy are sort of like adjacent with you in this chamber.
All right.
all right. I feel like I'm gonna get sucked back down, or many people are gonna be sucked back down, and I don't want to touch that stuff, especially after seeing Nub Nub stick to it. I don't.
Yeah.
I
And actually, as he slams into it, the little blobby things all sort of start to like skim towards him as well.
yeah. So, any blobby things nearby?
Yeah, like I said, there's like 15 to 20 of them that are just kind of like sliding around the surface, and as Nub Nub touched it, they kind of like all like stopped what they were doing and like start sliding towards him.
All right. And then I am going to try. There's nothing to really grab onto anywhere, is there?
There's still stuff floating around
Okay, something
in here as well.
heavy that if it
Yeah.
sets down somewhere, it looks like it'll stick to it rather than like get absorbed in. If something's large enough, I'm going to try and get onto that.
Okay, so you want to try to like swim over to a more stable object?
Yeah, grappling hook, mage hand my way over wherever I need to go to.
Okay, make an athletics or acrobatics check.
I will pick acrobatics, thank you. Over a 20.
Okay, so yeah, you kind of like swim your way over to like a larger section of a ship's hull and sort of like position yourself on top of it with it interposed between you and the slime.
Okay,
That's what
and
you'd like to do.
yes, and as a bonus
Okay.
action, I'm going to start fishing for octopus.
Fishing for octopus?
Yes, I'm going to try and hook on to Nub Nub and pry him out.
With like a grappling hook?
Yeah,
Okay, make a ranged attack.
okay.
Wait, what did Nub Nub get stuck in?
He's like stuck
Oh,
on
that's
the
right.
thing.
He
On
tried
the
to.
slimy
I
floor.
think I have grabbed it.
Yes.
Yes.
I think that's an
grabbed each other
18.
in a gooey embrace. What's an octopus's armor class? Probably, I'm sure it's
Probably
not 18,
not
So
18.
you're able, so you're able to like, so Nub Nub, you feel like a hook, kind of like go onto one of your tentacles
Alright.
and begin pulling you off.
All right.
You can make a strength check, Stan.
Oh,
as
armor
opposed-
class is 11, so
Yeah,
All right. Nub Nub, I'm going to save you.
yeah. You make a strength check opposed by Nub Nub's. Oh, no, actually, this would be this thing's stickiness. Sorry.
Oh boy, an 8.
So you do. It's like he's just stuck to it. So like you do pull him up, but it brings the slime up with it as well, and he's just kind of stuck on it. And is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
No.
All right, then I need everyone to make a strength saving throw.
Oh, good gravy.
I should have tied myself to the thing I was on.
Crit.
You crit?
13. 14. 14.
A crit.
21.
So anybody that got under 16 is yanked 15 feet downwards towards the thing, including the all the stuff floating around in here is also pulled downwards. So I believe you guessed this is the only one who didn't, unless you want to intentionally fail that.
Yeah.
You want to crit to go down twice as fast?
Yeah.
You're just like,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
take me.
He touched it. He didn't like burn him. It didn't have any acid or anything that happened to him.
Not yet.
Oh.
Have you guys read a song for Leah? Because that's what I feel like is happening here. Just
What is it?
have you guys read a song for Leah? Because that's what I feel like is happening here.
No, I never heard of that.
Okay, it's a George R. R. Martin short story. We'll talk about it later.
All right, so you guess this? Yeah, you're actually pulled into the thing as well. So you're kind of like just slap onto the meniscus of this thing, and it feels great. It feels like a waterbed. You're like, oh yeah.
All right, so I'm
Awesome.
touching it.
Yep.
I speak to it.
Okay, what do you say?
Oh, great umami. Huh?
Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah.
I sing them the song of my people.
Blah blah blah. Blah 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 blah. Blah blah
Oh,
blah.
great umami. We're here to help you and gather your blessings for us. What can we do to increase your tastefulness?
You actually do hear a response, like sort of in your mind, from a female divine voice that says, it is the slime that is preventing me from permeating the universe with my taste. She's like, it's been drawn here from a wild tide. She's like, you have to remove the skin. And as you're kind of like looking around the room, you see like an alcove that you couldn't spot from above, like built into the wall, that actually has like a layer of slime over it, and on the other side you see like a female form kind of like floating in the darkness of the alcove.
This isn't like, I'm sorry, I'm kind of imagining this as we're sort of in a inverse bowl, right?
Yes.
A hole at the top, and at the big end of the bowl there's a big like just sheet of sticky slime that we all just landed on, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then so this alcove is off on one of the walls?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That's perfect description.
All right, and I will yell out to everyone, over there. We gotta save her and get her out of that wall. I point with both my hands. I'm like, over there, over there, over there.
Nubnub's on it. Like I raise up a tentacle and I do like
salute to his Nubnub face. All right, and now it is the sea. So Nubnub and you guessed this, are touching the thing. They're going to take
Oh no.
7 points of acid damage as it kind of like secretes this sizzling innards of itself, kind of like secrete out of the skin of this thing.
Sorry.
And it actually like kind of pulls down on you too, so you're basically engulfed by it. You can try to escape on your turn.
Right.
And the little blobby things also scuttle across the surface of it, and they begin like their claws begin like scuttling over your body, and it's not like they're piercing you, but you feel like as if they're trying to drain your energy away. And
Oh, snap.
Let's see.
Not my energy.
Man, I am rolling crappy tonight.
This is a good trend for the GM. Please continue to have bad rolls. We don't mind.
Nubnub, you're gonna take 8 points of necrotic damage,
Oh,
Oh no.
and I need you to make a strength saving throw, and Augustus is gonna take 6 points of necrotic damage. I need him to make a strength saving throw.
9.
12.
All right, both of you have these things kind of like stick. They kind of like are just grasping around. Like they're probably as big as your torso, so they're kind of like stuck to you. Like one, they're just kind of like attaching themselves to your body and like.
I have a
They're
much
like
bigger
a
torso
leech
than
or a
Nubnub.
mosquito
Yeah.
or something like that.
What's that?
They're like a mosquito or something where they like leech on.
Yes,
Like a
they are.
tick?
They are attached to you. Yes, like a tick. Except
How
they're
far from me is Nubnub?
He's probably like 10 or 15 feet away. I mean, he's pretty big. What is it, a giant octopus? They're like large creatures. So,
large. So I'm 2x2.
So he's pretty close by. And then it is Circass's turn. So you see all this action going down. You see Augustus just swimming towards this thing, sticking to it, and Nubnub, and they're getting swarmed by these little things while your Witch Bolt is continuing to maintain itself. What would you like to do?
I think I want to see. All right, so like, I don't actually have a mechanic for this, but that's what the DM is for.
Yep.
My web, I'm able to take things out of it with the enzyme that I use to digest things. Can I try to use that to unstick somebody from the sticky stuff?
Sure. So you want to kind of like.
Oh, we lost him. Oh, there he is. Okay.
To be not sticky?
Like, yeah, I wanna try to unstick somebody if anybody's still stuck. I know somebody got stuck.
Yeah,
yeah,
Nub
totally.
and Augustus are stuck.
Yes. Well, I want to help Nub because Augustus seems to be enjoying being.
Okay. So you want to like swim down to it and try to free Nub Nub with your
Yeah.
enzymes? Sure.
Yeah.
Make a athletics or acrobatics check to swim down through the heavy gravity.
Oh.
Hmm.
So I rolled a 7,
Okay.
and
So,
I don't have a bonus. So.
oh, all right. So I mean, it's going slow, so you can't really make it all the way down to the surface of the thing on this turn, but you can still maintain your witch bolt if you like.
I
You can
don't
kind
know.
of like, if you want, you can sort of like move it across the surface closer to them. Maybe it'll like loosen its grip.
Are you guys okay with me risking hitting you with that in order to do that?
Num Num's fine with that.
Alright.
No, Num Num is okay with that.
If he's still an octopus form, he's got plenty of hit points to spare.
Yeah. Besides, if I get hit, I'll think it's my fault.
All right. Well, like, okay, with permission, I will do that.
All right.
Okay. So do your damage.
10.
Why is my
This means you're stopping your witch bolt.
No,
No, I just rolled damage for the witch bolt.
she's just
It's
Yeah.
moved
moving
it.
the Palpatine arc
And
over
I
to a new
will-
spot.
I will let Augustus and Nub Nub make an extra saving throw right now as the.
Strength saving throw. All right.
Why does my speaker keep changing?
All right. 18.
All right. How about, or Augustus, you don't have to if you don't want to.
I'm sorry, I missed what I'm saving against.
You got an extra strength saving throw as the stuff kind of like loosens its grip from the.
Oh yeah, I'll make the save. I got a 16.
Okay, so yeah, you both actually are able to like unstick yourself and like float up about 5 feet away from the.
I cry out, I thought that was Umami, but it's not. It burns. Ah, my skin, it's burning.
Okay. Now
All
we
right.
know to kill it with fire.
Nub Nub, it is your turn.
Okay. So we still have those creatures attached to us.
Yes.
Okay. So I go over to Augustus. I reach out a tentacle,
Mhm.
and I'm going to try and like rip off one of the things attached to him or crush it.
Sure. Just make like an attack against it, like
All right.
your octopus.
That is okay. So that is a 16.
That definitely hits.
Okay. And the damage on the creature is going to be 6 bludgeoning damage.
All right, so yeah, you wrap a tentacle around it and kind of just like yank it free from him, and it kind of just like bursts under the strength of your tentacle. And
Okay,
like,
so I just like I pull it off and then I go and just crush
Yes.
it.
Mhm.
Tentacles. All right.
Yep.
That's it.
and just kind of like turns into, it's almost like the fluid inside just leaks out.
And I look at it and I go, wow. And then my ear like perk up.
What's it taste like?
Do you want to taste it?
I mean,
Oh.
it's probably everywhere, right?
It kind of tastes like a sort of foul. It's reminiscent of the stench from the creatures, from those electric telepathic jellyfish on the beach above.
Yeah, nasty.
Mm.
We can't use this. I just chuck it over my shoulder.
You never
All
know.
right.
You might want to make a fart-tasting cake.
Fart pancakes. And Augustus, it is your turn.
All right, so I still have some of these connected to me, or?
Yeah, there's like one on you and a couple on Nub Nub.
Yeah.
All right, I have a couple ideas. I'm not sure which one's gonna work.
Okay.
These things are kind of grappling us.
Yeah, they're like attached to you. Like you can move and stuff. They're just on you like a tick.
Yeah,
like somebody's-
yeah. I'm wondering if I should try to get over to the wall where Umami is and get away from this sucking ooze, or if I should try to get these things off of me.
Self-preservation first.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess I'm going to spray me and Nug Nug down with grease spell.
All right. I like it.
So I kind of go. I'm like,
And
just
just
grease a 10-foot
Oh,
cube in the
no.
water.
That is disgusting.
You
Thank
guys are covered in grease. And what is your spell save DC? I'm gonna have these things roll against it to not
My
slide
spell
off
save,
of you.
good question, sir. My spell save DC is 14.
All right, so they all just kind of like this grease slides under their talons, and they kind of like slough off of you.
All right, and then with my move, I'm gonna quickly try to swim towards that wall that I
All right,
come from.
let's get an athletics or acrobatics check.
Sweet, good rolls. I basically have no modifier for that. 20. There you go.
Yeah, so you have no trouble just maneuvering. Actually, it feels easier than moving around in full gravity for you. You're like, oh, I kind of like this. And you just kind of gracefully ooze through the water towards the opening in the wall where you can see the figure clearer.
Augustus swims like a dude from the 20s in stripy swims.
Yeah, I was like, gracefully, really?
Sure.
Yeah, he
Everybody's
swims like
graceful
Mr.
in the
Frog
water, man.
from Frog and Toad, right?
And does Moisty want to do anything on this turn?
No.
Also,
you know what? How about why doesn't he try to get a bite out of one of those orb monsters?
sure, yeah, go for it.
I'll
Yeah, they're
sneak
kind of like floating around nearby.
Yeah, I'll sneak up and give him a bite, which is essentially a stinger.
Right.
Hey, it gets a 20. It does. Do you want me to roll them damages? Just give you averages there.
This average is fine.
It does 5 piercing, and they can make a Constitution save.
Nope, 5.
All right, they take 5 more poison.
Okay, so he actually pierces the outer meniscus of this thing too, and the goo just kind of oozes out of it along with its existence.
Moisty revels in it.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, he probably is just like sucking it up. It's tasty goodness. All right, and then we have Fitzroy. So you've seen Augustus and Moisty go towards that opening, and the rippling gelatinous bottom with being electrified. And
I'm coming for you, my queen.
How is Nub Nub faring?
He's still an octopus.
I'm okay. I'm fine.
You're fine?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. If
Besides,
Nub Nub
with druids, they're a little bit weird because they're, it's like, oh, I'm low hit points, and you're just normal.
Yeah. When I'm not an octopus anymore, then worry.
Okay, all right. So Augustus is free and swimming towards Umami.
Mm-hmm.
Nub Nub's looking solid and tanking the boss for us. What's your cast? What are you up to right now? You're not in immediate danger, or?
No, I'm good.
Okay. And 5-hand Stan, how are you looking? What's your situation like?
I'm on a boat.
I'm on. Useless.
I'm
You're
on
on
a
your
boat.
own, son. No.
Don't you ever forget.
Okay. In that case, is it possible I can get a crossbow? I don't know how well a crossbow is going to work. Crossbow will work fine underwater.
You're
I
not
feel like
underwater.
The only problem it has
It's
some
just
kick.
like being underwater. Yeah.
You're not technically underwater.
Well, I'm trying to how would my character associate this? I'm moving. It feels like being underwater. So if he lifted up his crossbow, he'd be like, "Is this gonna happen?"
You fire and you start going backwards.
Not a terrible idea.
It's not like you're underwater. It's just like you don't know where down is.
Okay. Because I feel like trying to throw something, there'd be like tons of resistance. You know what I
Well,
mean?
you can infuse it with planar force. So
Yeah,
your
maybe I
weapons, too.
should. I'll do my gambit thing.
Mhm.
Whooshing, kitchen knives. I'll huck a kitchen knife at the glute,
Okay.
Handful of
At
forks.
the core, whatever.
at the gloop, at the little creatures, or at the barrier of slime behind which Umami is at. Those are basically your 3 targets.
There's a lot of delicious targets. All right, Nub Nub looks fine, so I'm not gonna throw it at one of the creatures.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw it at the barrier.
Okay.
All right, and
Make your
not
attack.
roll a 1 and bury a kitchen knife in the dust. Okay, it's not a 1, but it is a 3. So I'm guessing, yeah, it's I hurt my wrist
Just
last
tumble-
night.
yeah.
My aim's a little off. Wah, 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 wah.
Do you have inspiration?
Oh yeah. Okay.
You don't have to. I'm just letting you know your options.
I would like to have Umami free. I feel like this fight's going to be untenable if we don't get. I mean, we have a god that is right there. Maybe she'll want to be helpful. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. All right. Inspiration. Can I just automatically succeed or reroll?
Sure. Be like advantage.
Oh yay! That was 14 with Dex, 16.
Yeah,
16.
that hits. That
All right.
definitely hits. So how much damage? And were you you're using your planar power?
Yeah. So a kitchen knife. How much do you want that to do?
I'd say 1d6 for your
Okay.
big old chef's knives. Plus,
Do that.
what is it? 1d8 for the
Yeah.
force damage. And I think it's
Uh,
all considered force damage.
Is it? Oh, all right.
Yeah, it's just basically infusing it all with planar force.
I do 9 points of damage with my kitchen knife throwing skills.
So that barrier of slime shudders violently as it slams into it and kind of gets a little thinner as that happens.
Progress.
Yeah.
Does he make a hole?
No, it just kind of like thins.
Okay.
But there's no hole, and it is Five Hand Stan's turn. We're at the top of the order. So
Okay.
you're basically floating on a piece of boat.
Does the piece of boat happen to have a working Spelljammer hole on it? Just
No,
asking.
No, I mean, no, it's literally like just like a portion of the hull.
I just wanted to check.
Yeah, sure. Like, 'cause those things are worth a crap ton of gold.
Yeah.
Yes, and if it worked, I could pilot it.
Oh yeah. It's true.
All right, I'm going to attempt to attach myself towards the barrier and kind of reel in
Okay.
the ship in me, the ship piece in me to the barrier. And if I can mash into it, that's great.
So you're trying to ram the barrier with the ship
Yeah.
piece that you have?
Yeah.
Okay. Make a ranged attack.
All right.
Using this grappling hook, basically?
Yeah, I'm going to use a grappling hook to attach to it, and then I'm going to grab onto the piece, like latch onto it with some of my limbs.
Okay.
Some of your appendages.
I'm going to say that should be a 14.
Okay, make an intelligence check as well.
All right. That will be a 12.
Okay, so you, noting the two other times that, that violent pull down was, if you want, you can sort of like wait for when you think it is and time it to
Oh, yeah.
give extra oomph to your pull.
That
So
sounds
you're
good.
kind of like
yeah.
holding an action basically, like when it pulls, I'm going to pull the rope too and ram into this
I
thing.
will absolutely do that.
Okay. And that is actually the next thing that happens. Initiative count 20. So everybody make your strength saving throws. Stan, you can just
No.
choose to fail it if you like.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
choose to
'cause you're
fail
gonna-
it to
yeah,
kind of like
'cause you're
use it to.
Right.
18.
All right.
17. Barely.
Also, because we're covered in grease, does that give advantage or?
No, it's sort of just like a force of gravity exerting
Oh, okay, gotcha.
upwards.
That is an 11.
Hmm.
I got a 2.
Oh.
So Nub and Nub and Augustus are both pulled down towards the ground. Don't actually connect with it, but you are pulled violently down. And Stan, you are also pulled down. You kind of use the momentum to
Yeah.
pull the ship towards, and it's a good thing Augustus was pulled downwards because you're heading right for the barrier, and you can roll damage. I'm gonna say that's gonna do 3d6 bludgeoning damage.
All right. That is 12.
All right, so you slam this piece of ship into the slime barrier, which again, like just kind of like oozes down to like just a paper thin layer almost, but there is still this sheen of it across the alcove door. And let's see, Nub, as you're kind of hovering above the thing, like a pseudopod of gelatinous stickiness kind of like reaches out of the slime and tries to like smack onto
I
you.
dodge it with all my tentacles.
All right, that's it's a 23 to hit.
Oh dear
I don't.
Lord.
It hits.
Surprisingly.
Surprisingly.
It doesn't hit?
No, it does hit. It does hit.
And that's 14 points of acid damage as it just kind of like sizzles across your octopus body.
No. My dear, no.
And then I am just gonna do all the thing attacks here.
Think about the chemical cooking goodness, Fitzroy.
I'd imagine traveling around Spelljammer like acid wouldn't be anything new, but that flavor I was getting earlier, no, that's something.
It's very strong now. So several of the little things kind of detach after Fitzroy hit the barrier with his knife and start floating up towards you, and two of them kind of like latch onto you. I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Talking to me?
No, Fitzroy.
Okay.
I'll get to you in a second.
Get to you in a second. Your doom is on its way, son. E12.
Okay, so you take 5 necrotic damage, and one of them is attached to you and also does another 2 piercing damage. And let's see, Stan. A couple of them come at you. What's your armor class, Stan?
Oh, good question.
I think it's like 15. I want to say.
How do
It
you
is
do
16.
16. Okay, so only one of them hit you, but that is going to do 7 necrotic damage, and you to make a strength saving throw.
I got a 16 for that.
Okay, so it is unable to attach to your chitinous exoskeleton. And Sir Cass, what's your armor class?
16.
So
Lightning damage. Gonna do 9 necrotic damage, and you need to make 2 strength saving throws. And also a concentration check.
3 and
All right.
19.
Alright, so
But
one of them is attached to you, and a concentration check for the witch bolt.
yes, that is just a constitution roll, yes.
Yeah.
8.
Alright, so the lightning kind of fizzles out as the life-draining touch of the little parasitic creature snaps your attention.
I
God,
hiss
these
at
things.
it.
It
For
appears
real, though.
unaffected by your hiss. This is actually your turn next, too.
Oh, good.
So we'll say you hiss as a free action.
All right. Let's see. Actually, can I when it latches onto me, can I hellish rebuke as a reaction?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. It gets a dex throw.
8.
Okay, that does not pass.
Alright.
So that would be 2d10. That's 17. I believe it's fire.
Yeah,
Damn
you
it.
doing that to the one that had
Yes.
attached to you?
Yes.
It bursts into flaming goo that smells awful.
Gross.
Smells like somebody lit a fire on fire.
Oh, that's terrible. It's terrible, and I hate it.
And that was just a reaction, so you still got the whole move
Yes.
and action if you'd like to.
Well, in that case, all right, what is our layout looking like? Who all
Sure.
is down here with the scuttling things?
Gotcha. So Nub Nub is the closest to the surface of the bottom. He just got whacked with a thick, ropey pseudopod of goo. Several of the little things kind of detach from it and are going after people that are harmed. Stan slammed a piece of boat into a barrier of slime. Fitzroy chucked a knife at it, and Augustus got yanked towards the ground after Moisty had attacked the barrier as well.
Oh god.
And him and Nub Nub are all greased up.
All right. Well, at this point, these the little things are my primary concern at this moment. So I'm gonna Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
Yes.
Some
it.
of them.
Like just start picking those off
Sure.
when I have the chance to do so. So that's 21 to hit
Oh, that definitely hits.
and 9 damage.
It like the bolt just pierces right through its blobby center and just splits apart and goes oozing out in the 0G around.
Nice sound.
I like slimes and plant creatures, as you will come to say.
So it needs one of those like jars with the slime in it, so you can make the.
Yeah, I get a soundboard. And did you want to move or anything, Sir Cass? You've remained relatively safe. You've not been pulled down towards the thing or anything, so you're.
I mean, I did once, but I should still be at a healthy distance.
Yeah.
I know I'm not gonna move or anything.
Yeah, you're still about 40 or 50
Literally,
feet away.
the term "healthy distance" actually applies right
Mhm.
now. That's very
It does. All right, so we will head on to Nub Nub. What would you like to do?
I think I might actually try helping out with the barrier to try and get the lady out.
Sure.
So I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna try and bash the barrier with a tentacle and pull her out.
All right. Make an athletics check with advantage to swim over there, since you're semi-adapted to this environment.
All right. Crit.
Yep, so you have no trouble getting over there, and you want to just bash out with the tentacle. Go for it.
And I go for it with a tentacle kind of wrapped around like a fist.
You like wrap up several of them in together and like give it
It's
a.
the most vivid squid
handle.
fight I've ever had in my life.
That is 17 to hit the barrier.
Oh yeah, that smashes into it.
Yep. For that is going to be doop-a-doop. 12 bludgeoning damage as my tentacle hits the barrier.
And the final bits of the slime just like drip away, and the feminine figure inside kind of like stumbles forward,
Right.
and you catch her with a tentacle.
All right, I grab her. I'm like, it's okay. And I have one tentacle that has her, and then another one.
We have saved you.
I've seen enough anime to know where this is going.
She appears weakened, but a sense of sort of actually that slightly distant savory taste that Fitzroy detected earlier actually like washes over everybody, and just it tastes so good in your mouth that you get 10 temporary hit points and the effects of a heroism spell, or I'm sorry, a bless spell.
Oh, does Nate get that or
Yeah,
me?
everybody in the chamber.
Oh, everyone. All right.
Yes.
Oh.
Bless.
What does the bless spell do?
It's an
I-
extra
D4.
D4 on attack or
Your
saving
chance.
throw rolls.
Bless and heroism, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And
I'm just
excited.
holding this woman in my tentacle.
yeah,
Go
she's
nub
like,
nub.
she's like, you have to
Ah,
scrape
wow.
the slime away. She's like, I've done all I can for you right now. Oh, and also you'll all get
It's okay.
advantage on your attacks.
It's okay, and I start petting her.
What slime is she talking about? The one on the ground?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the sheen that is covering the bottom of the ground. And it is your turn, Augustus. So you just kind of heard that same voice in your head saying like, you have to scrape the slime away.
Of course, mistress. Yes, whenever you will, I will do it. Scrape the slime away. Jeez.
It does appear to be receding a bit from the constant electrical attacks that have been unleashed upon it.
Hmm.
All right, I guess I'll Eldritch Blast it.
Sure.
Nice.
So I get an extra D4 to the attack roll, you said?
Yes.
Well, it ain't gonna help none.
So slime's pretty easy to hit.
Hey, I resent that remark. 14.
That hits. The AC is
All right.
only 9.
A jet of black ooze comes from my fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Takes 6 damage.
Why is my microphone keep?
And then Moisty's gonna try to bite it.
All right,
There we
go
go.
Moisty.
Moisty's got 14.
That also hits.
Take 5 damage and Constitution save 10.
I rolled a 10.
I guess you made it.
Moisty's like, tastes good, boss. He's like chewing on it. All right,
So
Fitzroy,
gnarly.
it is your turn. Feeling
Uh,
that mysterious mouthfeel is empowering you.
I am empowered by mysterious mouthfeel. That is an unusual sentence.
That should
Hey,
be a
can
t-shirt.
Can I take an action to? Whatever. I don't know what it is to pull something out of my bags.
Yeah, of course.
I pull out a hunk of dried noodles,
Okay.
like a big handful of noodles, and I just let them loose into the area.
Okay.
Let's get this soup started.
All right.
All
Like
right.
it.
I'm gonna go for my kitchen knife of throwing again.
All right.
We're gonna return to cutlery hucking.
Okay.
And I'm going to there's no obvious. I feel like we're just attacking a giant blob, but
You are.
yeah,
It does seem to be receding.
that's very accurate.
Yeah.
Right. Oh
That's
god,
exactly what you're doing.
having too much fun with this. 17, and I'm going to use my gambit abilities to up the
Okay.
damage. Do I get an extra D4? No.
It's just the
Not to-
attack roll.
Okay. Oh, that could have been 1 point better. 7, 10, 13 points of damage. Grrr.
All right. It actually seems to cause it to recede quite a bit, whether it's the reaction of the planar energy with its body or not. But it is kind of pulls itself closer in. And the parts of the ground that are revealed, there's kind of like runes and different symbols carved into the bottom surface. Let's see.
We're winning, and nobody's dead.
Slowly.
Yay!
And now we're back up to the top with 5-hand stand.
Okay. I don't know if I can hit it from here. If I can poison spray it, I will give it a go. I don't know if it'll hurt it. It's a 10-foot range.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty close all over the ground. So
Okay.
You want to
I'll
blow a
slap
puff
it.
of poison?
I'll slap it with a poison spray. It gets a con save, DC 13.
Oh, yeah, it made that 18.
So nothing.
It doesn't do anything.
Nope.
All right, then I need everyone to make a strength saving throw.
No. Oh. No,
Is
I
there
super.
advantage on that, or is it just the attack rolls?
Oh, you can use bless for saving throws and attack rolls.
Well,
Good, 17.
Yeah, I'll take a piece of that.
I'm going to use my inspiration.
17 as well.
Oh yeah, with bless it adds to all of your rolls. It's not
Mhm.
like you expend your bless.
Wow.
It's like
You are
permanent
blessed.
you have that.
You are blessed by the
This
goddess.
is it pulling
Hashtag
us in,
blessed.
right?
What's that?
This is it pulling us in.
This is what that saving throw is for.
All right, I made the save, but again, I'm gonna dive in.
Okay.
That is a 19 to not get sucked in.
All right, so everybody avoids getting pulled except Augustus, who is.
No, you guessed this. I try and grab him as
It's like,
You
no,
can't grab me.
no.
I got you. Don't worry.
I need this. Let me go.
We're both greased. I'm particularly ungrabbable by you.
And then let's see, there's still the matter of those little creatures. So we'll say miss. Stan, you're going to take 9 necrotic damage and make a strength saving throw.
A 4.
Okay, that is attached to you and does another 4 points of piercing damage. And Megan, or Circass, one of them hits you. That's going to be 5 necrotic damage and a strength saving throw. Alright, does not attach to you. Fitzgerald.
So,
Oh,
I
okay.
took damage, so I wanna. Can I
Hellish
reaction
rebuke?
and
Yeah, you can rebuke it hellishly.
good.
That's a
That-
save, right? It's like a dex
Yes,
save.
that's a dex save.
I got a 6, so probably not.
That's 14 damage.
Alright, another burnt
Can't
fart
do that again. So
is loose in the chamber.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Fitzgerald, what's your AC? I don't
Not. It's not. I'm dressed nicely though. 12.
Okay. So you're gonna take
No. Sad panda.
17 necrotic damage and make 2 strength saving throws. One was a crit, sorry.
God. Help me! All right, well, the temporary hit points are gone, and there's 7 more damage, and the strength saving throw. Oh, I did roll an 18.
Okay,
And
yeah, make 2 of them
two
though. I'll make one of them.
strength saving throw. And a nat 20.
All right, so yeah, these things they like like touch your body and suck some of your life force away, but fail to attach themselves to you. And Nub, another pseudopod is going to swing out at you. That is 14
That was a hit.
to hit, and that's going to do 11 points of acid damage.
Okay.
And you have to make a strength check or strength saving throw.
All right. And also, is it greased?
Yes, that's right. So you can have advantage on your saving throws. Pseudopod tries to engulf you.
Okay, so that is going to be a 9.
All right, so yeah, it manages to squeeze through the grease, and this big pseudopod just kind of like grabs you and starts pulling you into the slime itself.
Okay.
And then it is Circass's turn.
All right. So who's stuck?
Sure, you see Nub, big pseudopod reached up and kind of like engulfed his giant octopus body and started pulling him down into itself.
One tentacle's grabbing him.
Okay, but it is a pseudopod.
Yeah, it's like just part of the creature, just part of the slime was just like.
All right,
and,
so
like,
can
wrapped around him.
I like aim an Eldritch Blast at that, like in particular?
Sure.
Cool. Oh, that was a D12, not a D20. Bad me. 18 to hit?
That hits.
Yes, good. Oh, 10 damage. Max my die.
All right, 10 damage, and it does loosen its grip on Nub, kind of like recoils at your blast. It's still touching the creature, but it's not like sucking him down into it anymore.
At it.
Stupid slime. And
Growling
with
is a-
that growl, it is Nub's turn.
Tentacle fist. I started making some attacks on the slime.
Yeah, man, go for it.
All right. That is going to be a 24.
Oh yeah.
For 6 points of damage.
Yes. Are you slap fighting it?
Does Giant Octopus have multi-attack or anything?
No, only the one.
Okay. And then it is Augustus's turn.
Is it possible to just grab onto Fitzroy just to be like, I got you? That way you can't get pulled.
Yeah, we'll say that's your move action, is moving a tentacle over there too. And Augustus, it's your turn. The slime looks like it's receding quite a bit. And,
So this thing looks like it's in a pretty rough state. It's on the edge.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's much. I mean, it used to be filling the whole chamber. Now it's like 10 feet diameter.
All right. I am going to call out, my eyes full of goopy tears. Oh, you beautiful beast! I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. We will never forget your magnificence. But you've got to go. And then I'm gonna take. I'm not gonna bite it. I'm gonna try to eat it.
Make a persuasion check. You're persuading the slime.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try to handfuls of it and like try to get as much of it as I can before it's gone, so that it's not lost to this world.
Mm-hmm.
You want a persuasion check?
Yeah.
Oh.
Take it to Flavor Town.
It's gonna be bananas.
That's a 12.
Well,
wait. Wait, I'm gonna inspiration there.
Okay.
20.
You got a nat 20?
No, an 18.
Oh, but 20. So you just you call out to the slime gads and start shoveling handfuls of this thing into yourself, and it actually seems like eager. Like as you're pulling it, it's like you feel like the ooze is actually like crawling towards your mouth closer, like it wants to be. And you guys just watch as Augustus engorges himself on the remainder of the slime.
I'm jiggling with pleasure.
Yes. Oh, it's just running down his cheeks and everything. And he just. Do you save any for moisty?
Hell no.
Okay. Yep. So you actually do consume the last of the slime.
Moisty's lucky he didn't get sucked in with it.
And that is actually going to confer upon you an animated potion effect, a potion power.
What?
Residing in your stomach now is this remains of this sentient liquid.
Wow.
And once per day as an action, you can activate your potion power. You'll be incapacitated for the round that you activate it, but at the end of the duration, for 1 minute, you have the effects of a potion of heroism.
Cool.
All right.
If you imbibe another potion during that period, you'll have to roll on the potion miscability table.
That was very clever. I don't know why Nub Nub didn't think of that.
Did
I had to get to it before Nub Nub could do it.
the question you have to ask yourself is, did he just magic that up out of nowhere? And I don't want to know. I don't want to know where the rabbit came from the hat, or did he literally plan on one of us trying to eat this thing?
You'll never know. The bigger question, or the more amazing thing, is that he just did that in 6 seconds. He ate about basically a backyard swimming pool full of jelly.
So
I am picturing this in my head as him opening his entire head and just.
Sure.
Pac-Man.
That works.
Doug, can you give me a write up for that? Afterwards?
Yes, absolutely.
I take the lady and then I set her down and I let go with my tentacle.
Okay. And she lays down on the ground. She's kind of got like a aquamarine colored skin and like
Are you
long
okay?
green
I
hair.
say I have both of the tentacles like this on my face.
She kind of gets up on her hands and sitting on the ground, and she's just like, I don't know what happened. She's like, it hadn't been the proper time since the last wild tide. It was much too soon. She explains that an entity named Dagon sends a wild tide throughout the plains every 720 years. And it had not been nearly that long since the last one. But when it unexpectedly came through the undersea, the residual planar energy that she was unprepared for had formed that slime-like shell around her and trapped her down here. And she's very grateful for your intervention. She's like, how did you even find this place? She's I haven't had visitors. I mean, besides the Flump and Aldani for centuries.
The crawly men above, they sent us to find you.
We were
The
following the
Aldani
void.
sent you?
Do I still feel it here? The void?
No, not as much as you did in the dark region above. It's kind of like a little pocket area here. She like kind of looks at you quizzically. She's like, the Aldani sent you? She's like, I would have thought they would be grateful for my absence. She's like, I am the one who cursed them long ago. She's like, perhaps I need to reconsider what the curse that I had bestowed upon them.
Life's too short to worry about being hated and hating people and having rivalries. We should all just get along. And I just
she's like, you're a wise young furry-headed octopus thing. What are you? What's going on? Where are you people?
I'm of the proud Bopi peoples. And I say,
she's like, I have not heard of you before. And she kind of like looks beyond you two to like the remaining little blobby things that have now just kind of like fallen to the ground inert. And she's like she kind of looks sad and explains that like those are Flump that had come down to investigate, and the tainted slime had mutated them. So she feels bad about that. And she's actually kind of like surprised by Augustus too. I mean, she's like, where did you fit all that?
Yeah, seriously.
So if she takes notice of me, I will quite literally crawl, slide along the ground, like prostrate in front of her to her leg, and like look up her and, oh, great mistress of the flavor, your mighty magnificence. You must be tired after a long imprisonment by this glorious beast. I've made you some soup here, and I thrust my hand up with my handful of noodles towards her mouth.
She takes them gratefully and kind of sucks them all down in one big slurp.
Ooh.
And you can have inspiration for that. And
While he's doing that,
Also-
I'm going to snag one of the mutated flumps and stick a stone in
Also,
my pack.
I'm gonna be up for a second. I'm gonna be back in like
Okay.
a minute.
all right, so you do that. I was right. I just totally lost my train of thought for a second.
Is there anything else we humble servants can do for you? Do you need a sacrifice? Maybe one of my compatriots?
She's like, I think there's been enough sadness here today. She does look at Circasso and she's like, you had spoken of the void. What is your interest in such a dark place?
It calls.
She's like, it does call to many. She's like, as a matter of fact, not too long ago, I watched helplessly as a unusual ship traveled, emerged from the void on the undershore above. She's like, they had come through a star beacon from far off in the Phlogiston, and she's like, in the gravity pull of the slime had actually like pulled things off the ship, and she's kind of like produces from the flows of her robe like a small like egg like object.
He has my attention. Like my full attention.
Sure. She's
I start drooling.
and Fitzroy, your planar senses kind of are drawn to this thing as well. She says, this seems to have some residual energy from the void upon it. I don't know what it is. But she's like, if it will help you.
Oh, I'm
on your-
making grabby hands.
Yeah, she'll hold it out to you.
I'm
Yeah,
just
like-
gonna, when Circas grabs it, I'm just gonna get a good look at it and, you know.
Oh, I'll
nod
show it to you as long as you don't try
Yeah.
to take it from me. I
No,
trust it.
no. I'm just doing the like, I'm watching this because I'm interested.
Mhm.
You know, I'm gonna want to talk about this thing later, kind of thing.
Sure. It's like an egg-shaped object. It's probably about, I don't know, 6 to 8 inches long.
Cool.
It doesn't appear to be made of a shell or anything. It almost feels like leathery, and it's kind of like a light purplish blue color.
It's not red and have a bunch of facial features on it, does it?
No.
Good. That's good.
And also with the slime now receded, the remains of all the ships that had been drawn through the undersea are also just kind of exposed, lying in, shattered pieces across the floor. And like I said, there's like runes and symbols carved into the stone ground of the cavern as well.
So, is there a large amount of sea wreckage or?
Yes.
But there's a large amount of wreckage. Okay, well, I'm immediately going to turn directly to Five Hand Stan.
I was just thinking at him very hard.
Yeah. Would you mind taking a look around and seeing if there's anything useful down there?
Yeah, I get my claws ready, brush them on my carapace, and get to work.
Yeah, she's
I would
like,
love to.
yeah, Umami says like, yeah, the ships that are drawn here from the Sea of Fallen Stars, I have no need of such trinkets. She's like, points up and you see the things floating around in the air, and she's like, the Aldani seem to enjoy scavenging for the trinkets that come through.
I would like to help him as an octopus, just like reach, grab, show,
Okay.
and stuff. And then if it's too big, I like pick it up and then like, oh, what's under there? Like set it down.
Okay, let's get some investigation checks. Oh, go ahead.
Oh merciful queen, thank you for allowing us meager beings to partake of your bounty.
I was just gonna have 5 hand stand steal stuff, but that's nice that she already.
Yeah, she doesn't. I mean, this is meaningless to her. She's like, it is only good taste that concerns me. And she's winks at Fitzroy. She's like, I sense that you are also on the path of good taste.
I'm on the edge of my seat to have a conversation with this goddess of umami.
Sure. What do you? I mean, while everybody's investigating, what would you like to know?
I have plied the phlogiston in an attempt to find only the finest ingredients and most exotic foods. Can you impart upon me any knowledge to assist me in this quest of discerning the perfect universal flavor?
She make a persuasion check.
Ooh. Be good. This is one of my high stats. This is a 14. She laugh. But I didn't roll high, so there's that. 9. I got a 9.
Inspire.
Yeah.
Did we get another one? Because I burned one.
No, I will use my inspiration on him.
Yeah, so say you can.
This is Nub Nub believes in you.
That is raw. You can give your inspiration to another player.
I love you, Nub Nub. 16 plus 2, 8. Wait. It might be a 20. Is it? No, it is not. It's an 18. It's an 18.
She like leans down close to you and cups her hand around your ear. And she says, add bacon.
So wise.
Right all along. He laughed at me, but I knew
All
it.
the years of teaching.
I thought it was going to be like Futurama, where the super flavoring is actually just PP.
What is it?
It is umami. So.
Oh.
Ooh.
This tastes really great.
Well, I bow and I thank you for your wise and your great wisdom beyond reproach. And I'm gonna crack out one of my little vials. There is a flavor that permeates this space. Is there a way I could gain just the smallest amount of that?
Yeah, she takes your vial and she like breathes into it, and
Cool.
you guys can't really see anything, but you with your planar and cooking senses kind of like detect like something, like an almost invisible substance. And we'll say that you now have an enchanted umami shaker that you can use to add advantage to anything that you cook.
This means now we have to go find the other flavors.
Yes, there's 4 other flavors.
I just had a god breathe in a vial for me, and now it's full of flavor. Are you kidding me? Best day of my life.
Well, you should have had her just pull out one of those like Chinese restaurant like soy sauce.
Yeah.
And
And everybody else was investigating the wreckage.
Yeah, I got a 24 if I'm actually rolling investigate.
All right. So I'll tell you, I'll put it in our private chat. But you do collect quite a bit of copper pieces, silver pieces, gold pieces, platinum pieces. There's a electrum brooch inlaid with silver designs. You find a scroll case with gems set into it.
And I like to think that it's like I'm picking stuff up and I'm like, not edible, and I throw it, and then he just catches it.
You're only looking for organic. There's a vest woven out of like a thin platinum thread. There's just like other odds and ends of silver and bronze. There's like a really nice pair of white fur gloves and a black leathery cloak with like a high collar and 2 like golden clasps that look like bat wings on either side.
Yeah, I'm just stowing everything I can in my sacks that I have.
Right.
I'm like,
I'll
now
put all
this
the
is
specifics.
plunder.
Never to be seen again.
Yeah, not that Num cares. Oh, and also, did anybody else investigate anything? Or
I'm
would you
doing
roll
something
for?
else, but I'm waiting.
Okay. Num.
I want to, but I feel like my character is too busy fawning at this goddess.
Okay. Make another investigation check, Stan.
Okay. I was interested in the runes as well. 16.
Okay, so yeah, so while you're looking, you're examining the runes, and they seem to be in different sorts of languages, but they're all kind of like have like aquatic themes to them. Like there's pictograms and things, and they're just kind of describing like water eats sort of things. But in one of them, there's like a bas relief of like humanoid figures that look like they have like a fin on their head and webbed hands, and they're kind of like all swimming around like a little orb. And you notice that the orb is actually like a polished sphere of mineral that is set into the ground.
Does it look like the orb that was floating around that kid's head on the ship?
It does not.
Okay.
I want it. I'm trying to figure out where is the thing to let me like kind of latch into it and take it out.
Make a thieves tools check so you can kind of like pry it out. That's something a thief would do. It's probably only about fist size.
Okay.
I'm up next to him. What do you need me to do?
So I'm gonna climb up on top of the demon statue and just pry this big ruby out.
Yeah.
I look
While
at
the other people drag the lizard folks corpses out of the room.
5 handstand, twists his head around, and wherever Umami and the rest of the group is, I tell Nub Nub, stand right there. Right there.
Okay.
All right, I'm standing here.
All
It's
right.
very important.
All right.
All right.
Very important. Like super important.
15. I got expertise in that.
Yeah, so you carefully manage to, get a tool between the stone and this orb and just kind of like pop it out, and you have a sphere of polished aventurine gem in your hand.
Okay, I quickly stow it someplace safe.
Okay.
And then I look around to see, I wonder if any of these runes can get popped out while I'm here. While I have Nub Nub in the way.
No, actually, everything else you see is like carved into the stone. It was just that one part where there was actually like a non-stone thing embedded in the stone that you've gotten out. And Circas, did you say you wanted to?
I just wanted on record that I am wrapping my void egg, and I'm going to attempt to hatch it.
Okay. Okay. Actually, another rate.
Okay, I did not expect that. Awesome.
All right.
I feel like the spider person's gonna have a hard time getting it warm.
Spiders, like they wrap their egg sacs in like the webbing, and that's kind of how they do it. So that's what I'm doing with this egg, because
I love
that's
it.
what I know.
They don't like sit on their eggs.
Right, but we don't know how this egg works. Maybe it's down.
Maybe it's going to be warm.
Maybe it's not even an egg. It's just an egg-shaped thing. It was just a shape name. And yeah, is there anything else that you guys would like to do down here? Umami kind of is just kind of like, resting and gathering her strength down here.
The name of the people that she cursed, what was their name again?
The Aldani. She's they had once been like fishermen in the Phlogiston, but they fished almost to the point of extinction, so they were cursed to be the thing that they had once fished for, which was space lobsters.
I'm not gonna be as so pretentious as to tell Umami her business, but before we leave, I will, prostrate myself before her and great goddess Umami. The people that you once cursed are those that sent us here to save you. I would ask that you keep this in mind.
She actually looks kind of like thoughtful and considerate of that, and she's like, they sent you? She's like, I can't believe they would want to help me. She's like, perhaps they have learned their lesson over the last millennia. She's like, I will allow them to leave the undershore if they so desire. She's like, could you bring that message to them? She's like, I'm much too weak to leave my chamber right now.
Oh, mistress.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, mistress, you should free them from their bondage by melting them down into ooze.
Please do not, Umami, please.
Dissolve their forms and let them have the true enlightenment.
She's like, there is some truth to your words. The flumps seem to be very enlightened, and they're mostly easy. She's like, I will let them choose their own fate.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of start away towards the exit here.
Okay.
Maybe waving to teammates, gentlemen. I believe we are now in the way.
Fitzroy's like, well, time to hit the old dusty train.
It's just so bad. Is that the tentacle?
Yeah, that's the tentacle.
All right. Be gentle now. Now.
I'm a giant octopus now. I go, wee, jump.
You stayed giant octopus the whole time, huh?
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's a good form.
With a nub head though.
Yeah.
Also, I can grab some other people. I start reaching for Stan.
Yeah, he's like,
I put out one of my arms. Yep.
tentatively. So it's
reaching for Augustus.
Sure.
Gotcha.
So it's not much trouble to make your way back up through the undersea of fallen stars to the undershore, where Ilrigger remains idling.
I would offer a tentacle to our spider, but I assume she is fine getting up as a spider.
You're scared of her.
Get her up the wall.
Okay, all right.
Farewell, Ryan. If you ever need us, we will do anything for you.
She
No,
smiles.
give him a little tug. He's gonna have everybody turned into slimes.
I'm very quickly going up. So that way, it's like the end of whatever he was saying kind of gets cut out. It was, if you ever need us,
Your wish is my command.
So on the undershore actually is several of the crew kind of like conversing with the Aldani, and they appear to be like bartering and trading things, trinkets and stuff.
cool.
Those
Yeah,
people
when
have.
we get up there, I'm like plop, plop, plop.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
kind of
I transform back to normal.
okay.
The last time we talked to the Eldani was one of the bugs did all the talking. Nate, did you do all the talking?
I think
Yeah.
Searcast talked, and
I spoke a little bit.
I just basically took the things that they offered, which I'm going to do again.
Okay, I'm just gonna hang back. I'm gonna tell Searcast and Five and Stan, we may be able to offer these people a better life if you'll convey the message that, and I go into the rigmarole with Umami and and then just hang back and let them talk to the crustaceans.
Yes, I will let them know that we're accepting payments.
What?
Yeah, that's what I thought you would say.
What? The Dread Mistress has been freed from her enslavement. She is back for vengeance. You crusty,
for your lives.
What is
crusty
happening?
exoskeleton beasts. Bow and scream before her might, lest she curse you more than you are.
I'm gonna.
He's very much exaggerating.
I'd like to grab Augustus by his coat. We need to get food ready for the crew to eat. Let's go cook on the not too forceful, just like
Yeah.
let's go in this direction, away from where
Disgusting
they can
crawdads.
be.
I'll feed upon all of you.
He's like that with anything with an exoskeleton. Don't mind him.
So like I said, there's a few of the Aldani, and they're kind of like conversing with a few of the crew from Ilrigger who are just kind of like trading things and exchanging trinkets on the undershore there.
I speak with Fitzroy to just make sure. Fitzroy, she said that they are free to leave or free of their curse. I do not remember which one.
Free to leave. They're free of their curse, which means that they can.
Yeah, they're still going to be lobster folk, but
I will tell them that.
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Oh, I'll speak with the
Perhaps
captain
like
really quick.
with us.
He's like, okay. What would you like to say
Just
to
with
Captain
him.
Lore?
Are we able to take some of the lobster folk with us? I think that some of them may want passage.
No.
It's like,
He and I went to the boat. We need to get cooking. We're not in the camp. Old school D&D rule here. We're not in the camp. We don't know it.
No!
He's like, well, I have a rule on the ship. He's like, I generally don't take on crew unless they have something specific to offer. And he's like, these people.
Lots of treasure.
I bet they have money. Lots of different treasure and trinkets.
Yeah, they do seem to have a lot of that. He's like, you know, we've been trading with them. He's like, it's really hard not to take advantage of these folks.
Well, forget about trying to not do it, and just simply tell them that they must give you stuff to be on board.
He's like, oh, they've been giving us stuff. He's like, they don't really seem to want much. He's, you know, he's like, we're filling up the stores pretty well from these folk.
I'm jealous. I don't say
He
anything.
actually kind of like looks at your bulging pouches
Yeah.
though. Too. He's just like, from the looks of it, looks like you found quite a bit of plunder down there too.
Yes, we did find a few things. All right. So I didn't really get a yes or no out of him.
Well, that's too bad.
As
'cause
far
I'm
as like
already
taking,
reading them. I didn't even think to ask. I'm just like, perhaps you would like to come with us.
what as you say that to him, they're like, but we're bound to the undershore because
No, you're not anymore. She said you could leave.
the one that's speaking actually looks kind of like saddened by that, and he's gonna turn and like huddle with his.
I mean, you're perfectly
You don't
fine
have
to stay.
to.
You don't have to leave. You can stay.
He's not kicking you out.
They actually are like they appear kind of happy about that. You know, they're like, we wouldn't know where else to go, and they're like, you know, they've actually come to like be comfortable with their place on the undershore.
I go up to them and I say, the world's a big place. There's lots of other things out there to experience, and I think you might find that there are other, you know, for now, if you want to stay, that's perfectly fine. But, you know, the universe, there's so many things to explore and so many wonderful things, people to meet, foods to eat. It's amazing, and I think maybe perhaps you might be interested in that sometime.
Make a persuasion check.
Getting a nub on. I believe in you.
That is a 14 for my persuasion.
Actually, it looks like you've kind of like inspired them a little bit. They're like, but most people just want to eat us. They're like, we're delicious with garlic butter, from what I understand. And he's kind of like looking at the rest of the crew warily as well.
All the crews on the ship with knives and forks.
Yeah.
Look, in this universe, there's two
Chunder's
kinds
up
of
there
people.
with like a boiling pot of water.
There's two things: that there are people you want to eat with, and those that are trying to eat you. You need to find people that you want to eat with, and not the people trying to eat you.
They actually,
Sage advice.
yeah, they actually kind of like their eye stalks go wide, and they're like, "You're wise, Furry One." They're like, "The great Furry One has given us his wisdom."
Yes, I am a hero sent from my people.
God worship me.
Yeah, they actually kind of have like gathered around Nub Nub by this point and just kind of like listening to his every word. They're like, "We can go anywhere we want, do anything.
Yes.
I can be more than just a lobster man."
Not much more, but yeah.
You can taste delicious with garlic butter.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh no.
I'm gonna
And
say.
apparently we're quite rich.
Also, you could consider that perhaps being able to leave is the gift in and of itself, and if you stay here, then you can continue to gather these things and be next to Umami.
Yeah, that's kind of where we're leaning.
So like,
Yeah, that's hard to do.
spidery heart has thawed a little bit, and I would like to write a note and like put it in a bottle and then drop it down for Umami to read at some point. That
Okay.
basically just talks about the lobster people and how much they love her and how reluctant they are to leave her, and like that's very touching, and she should know about it.
That is
That's a
nice.
good move. That's a good move. Mm-hmm.
And in this time too, quick, you know, even if it hasn't been very long, you see that the telepathic jellyfish flumps have kind of like, you know, they were just kind of like laying weakened on the black sand beach. They're kind of like starting to get up and float around a little bit too, as Umami's energy kind of is returning to the area.
To a growing cacophony of small puffing sounds.
Yeah, they're like,
and a rising methane.
God.
I think it's time to go.
yeah, yeah, like the crew's just like, oh. So they climb back aboard Illrigger. Is there anything else you guys want to do on the undershore here?
I head back to or I'm just gonna go back to the ship.
Okay. All right. And does everybody return to the ship?
Yeah, my character is feeling very strange for the first time in a long time. He feels sated and doesn't feel like he needs to grab anything else off the floor or anything.
Wow.
Oh,
He
except that
does have
shiny
full
rock.
pouches.
All right, now
Tell anybody
now
about
I'm
that.
good. I'm just gonna look at the ship and be like, I think I have enough things right now. I didn't even get to look at them.
It's only because his move speed is now 5. And he's like shump, shump.
Yeah, you can hear the jingling, jangling.
The rest of us aren't, but Nate is actually keeping track of his encumbrance.
I think I have 4 arms.
Fitzroy, what did she say to you? What was that? What did she whisper? Tell me, come on. What did she give you?
Oh, you had better make this good. Lie to him, please.
Can I see it? Let me taste it.
I'll take out the vial and put a little dash like in my hand for him to. Yeah, exactly.
Oh no, he's gonna lick your hands.
I know, but there's no. I don't want him licking the vial. What am I gonna do?
Turns out in this
plate.
universe.
There you go, my friend. Just remember, my hand isn't part of the meal. Have a.
So I'll mouth his whole hand.
Oh, that's uncomfortable.
Not sexually or anything.
Yeah.
No,
But
all
anyway,
right.
Come on, you've ever had your hands in grosser
Or-
stuff.
It turns out that in this world, bacon is a legendary item that is guarded by celestial dragons.
It's actually just Tarask. That's it.
Yeah.
Tarask.
So I would like to make a meal for all of the crew, and I'm not going to worry about where we're heading and what we're doing next.
Sure.
That was a crazy interaction, and in order to get my head clear, I'm just going to cook.
Okay.
So I'm going to make a big meal, and I'm going to use just a dash of that umami spice.
Yeah, you only need a lot. You only need a dash. Make a cooking utensils check with advantage.
Oh yes. Oh, that.
Can I
probably-
assist?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, and I have my sous chef here,
Mm-hmm.
Saucier. My
What are you gonna
saucier.
add to the dish? You guess this.
What am I gonna add to the dish? Oh, jeez.
You know,
Well-
get a little bit of that slime up in there.
I mean, that really would commemorate the entire encounter, wouldn't it?
Mhm.
I'll while he's not looking, sneak some of that.
So it actually kind of responds to your telepathic desire, and you don't have to regurgitate it. You actually feel a little bit of it like crawl up your throat and like climb out of your mouth and slip off the pot.
Nightmare.
Oh my god, eventually I'm actually going to end up vomiting during this game.
Sorry, is that too graphic? for you?
No, it's not. No, this is perfect. Like, you don't understand. Like, visceral responses like that are fantastic. You're doing an amazing job.
I also, under my equipment, have various bottles of colored liquid, so I'm
Yes.
going to largely act like I'm helping.
Okay.
Okay,
Just putting a dash of this and a dash of that.
that's what I expect. I taste the end product, and the end product is good, so I assume he did a great job. He
Mhm.
must have been helping.
It's shake
so
and bake.
Shake and bake, baby. It tastes heroic.
It tastes heroic. What does this taste like? Dwarf. That's the
Yeah.
flavor you're getting. Dwarf beer. Heroic, pure heroic flavor.
You got a
Alright,
little.
so I just wanted to be known that my assist roll was a 1.
Of course it was.
Good
What
luck
was
on
your
that
cooking
one.
rolls?
My cooking rolls or his?
Yours.
Oh, I got an 17 and a 19.
Yeah, man, it is. Again, Chunder is just like, man, if they keep doing these like extraordinary missions and commemorating with meals, this is like a free ride for me. He's just kicking back down at the joint. So yeah, all the crew, is all hanging out down there as Randall brings the ship through the dark region, headed back towards Azure space, where the next destination lies. And it'll probably take, it was not much of a detour. But you should get there in plenty of time. He's a very fast pilot, as a matter of fact.
Doug, I have a question for you. Just
Sure.
I might not be understanding this. We've mentioned that we have producers, and this
Mhm.
is all for
Yes,
a thing.
Yeah.
It keeps kind of sounding like a TV show. How are people partaking in our kind of? Are we putting a book together?
It was a book deal to travel to all these places, explore their cultures and cuisine.
Okay, so we're writing all this up, and then it's gonna be
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
So you said producer, and I was like,
Yeah.
is there like a floating eye, like filming everything?
There was going to be, but I forgot when we started, so now it's a book. And what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so they've chartered the ship for you. That's who is paying for the production of the thing, and they're giving you the itinerary. And it takes it's gonna take several days to get through there. You get through the dark region, back into the Phlogiston and back onto the flow rivers. Is there anything anybody wishes to do with the downtime on the way to Azure space?
Who got the last sweater? Was it Nub Nub?
I think I remember you. Did you make I remember you made a tablecloth.
Yeah, I did make a tablecloth, and I made Nub Nub a sweater. I know that for sure. I am slowly knitting sweaters for the entire crew. I have an order of operations, and I just want to make sure I'm not hitting the same person.
Wow, technical. So who do you have something for today?
Yeah. So she's going to go to Fitzroy next, because Stan is last, because it's probably not a good thing to give another bug like spider silk. That would be awkward.
Because that would be weird. That would be that's the line that we're drawing.
Them.
Yeah.
And he understands that, but these others don't.
Please
really.
put yourself in this.
Yeah.
This is a long con.
I think instead of a sweater, I'm gonna make him like a chef's apron.
Okay.
Gets the cook on it. So
once all of our clothes are made by her, we're trapped.
Yeah. And she'll have you in her grasp.
If it's the long con, it would be so rewarding to just be beginning of the adventure. You all wake up and you're screwed. I'd be like, okay, you know what? I'm fine with this because that's amazing.
It was a long con. She put a lot of work into it. I don't feel bad.
You've earned it. Am I dead? She's earned it.
Any other downtime sort of activities anybody wants to do, or
I will
NPCs?
Fiddle with all the cool stuff I found.
Okay. Do you have like detect magic or anything like that?
I might.
I mean, there's people on the ship that could help you if there's Elamir, the ship's engineer, down in his workshop in the cargo hold.
Yeah, if we've got enough time.
I mean, like I said, it'll be several days. So
yeah.
There is a spell scroll of gaseous form. And a cloak of the bat.
Ooh.
And the orb that you pried out of there is an orb of the Shalarin. And I'll give you the stats on that offline, but it basically allows you to create like a whip of water to pull things towards you or pull yourself towards things.
Very cool.
What?
Or ooze.
Mad want.
And during the time in Travel Circus, you're nursing the webbed up egg.
Yes.
And one of the days as you're passing the time, it actually hatches.
Yes.
And inside of it is a small, like manta ray shaped thing that has like a tail coiled up in the end, and it kind of like is just floating in the fluid inside. And as soon as it hatches, actually, the ship comes to a full stop in the Phlogiston, and everybody notices that the envelope of gravity, atmosphere, and air around the ship sort of dissipates, and that's where we will pick up next week.
Oh man.
Oh shit!
So I would like to thank everybody for playing and everybody that was watching, and thanks
Thanks
to
everyone for stopping by.
yeah, definitely come back next Friday as we find out what happens next. And you can find links to everybody's stuff in the description, including that From Hit Dice to Heroic books that got used several times today to pretty cool effect, I thought. And until next time, stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy.